What an interesting first half. It was all Munster in the opening quarter. Jason Holland on the loop, over the try line, and Munster deservedly 10 points ahead. Then a turning point. Donnacha O'Callaghan, one raise of the boot, and he's off for 10 minutes. The Warriors strike back immediately. Gethin Jenkins having an awesome game in the tight and there in the loose. The Warriors try scorer. Then it's Munster who strike back. The outside break by Mike Mullins. Anthony Horgan on the wing with the finish. And it's Munster back in the lead. And then 2 penalties by Kerry Sweeney. The lead has swung again. It's the Warriors 16, Munster 15.
Yeah, let's have a look at the stats. Well, I think the Warriors got themselves back in the game in the last 20 minutes there, didn't they? Possession of territory, first 20 minutes, Munster was so far ahead, very dominant. Munster 9 times into the opposition 22 and find themselves behind. I think they'll be very surprised at that. Other than that, it's pretty even on turnovers and line-outs. Warriors winning all of theirs. Fascinating first half.
Hasn't it been a fascinating first half?
It was really interesting, yeah.
I said Munster wouldn't be pretty, and yet they've given it width. They've won. In that opening period, that was as fine an exhibition of how to start a rugby match as I've seen for a long time.
It was fantastic, and their angles of running and the different the ways they were changing the defence in the Warriors, and they're in complete turmoil in midfield. John Bryant and Sean James, they don't know which way to turn because Christian Cullen's coming on angles. Mike Mullen, they're doing his likes to run around, so it's very difficult for them to defend against.
The turning point, I think there were 2 turning points. One was Donnacha O'Callaghan going off.
Shouldn't have gone off, really.
No.
We'll see that a bit later. I think we got the first try to have a look at, yeah.
And here we go. Right, this is Munster in full sweep.
This is a simple case of when you're in the 22, all the players have got to be committed to one style of defence. You're either standing man for man or you're drifting. And this is a case where I think John Bryant and Kerry Sweeney just get mixed up. I think he did score there. He just clipped the line and then it rolled back.
Any touch of whitewash on the ball will do.
That's it. It's a lovely little run around. It's a great loop in midfield. And it's done at such a pace, right in the face of the opposition, and it's very difficult. You've got to be so committed in defence, either to pushing one out or man for man. I think we can see it here. Track the centres split in. It's a lovely little loop. I think it's Mullins who just offloads. Holland on the run around, and you can see that Bryant has stayed and Sean James has Bryant has stepped in, and what's happened is Kerry Sweeney has drifted. Now, if Bryant has gone out, Sweeney will make the tackle inside. That gives him that tiny little hole, took advantage of it. Great try.
Yeah. It was all Munster, wasn't it? A fantastic ball off the line out. Jim Williams was winning front, middle, back.
They just weren't in it, the Warriors. They were not in the game for 20 minutes, and we were just admiring how well Munster were playing. And then I think
worrying for the Warriors.
A very, very dubious decision, that yellow card.
Yeah.
You can't blame the referee, Andy Island, because it wasn't his call. It was his touch judge who called it. He called a stamp. Now, if we have a look at this as he comes in here, he's lifted his leg and he's not made any contact there, is he?
No. Bit of intent, I suppose, but.
I think John made a good point. I think this brawl after
that cost him.
Yeah, that cost him because the referee then thinks, right, something's happened there, and I'm going to make a decision. When if the ref had seen that, I think he'd have let it go.
Well, no, the touch judge said stamp 10 minutes, and I think the referee's obliged to go with it. You've got to have a bit of trust between the officials.
Yeah, well, we know he's a hothead, but once he'd gone, the whole game turned around, didn't it? The Warriors got a bit of possession, a great try from Gethin Jenkins.
Yeah, my second turning point was Gethin Jenkins' work in tight, but this is him in the loose. It's a great line-out win by Richard Parkes, and then strength and power and good off-the-ball work by Brent Cobain. There's the take. There's the drive on.
Horsman's is doing well. I think the front row are playing very well for the Warriors, aren't they?
He got his belly on the ball, didn't he? It was a bit touch and go.
Backwards. I think he had an anxious look up to the ref.
Just as well we haven't got a video ref here tonight, but yeah.
No, I think fantastic comeback, to be fair to the Warriors. They showed a lot of guts there and getting Jenkins to the fore, and it's all set up very well for the second half.
We're still sort of rubbing our eyes that the Warriors are in the lead, but let's see what Stuart has found out.
Yeah, thanks very much, Eddie. I'm alongside Nigel Bazzani again. Nigel, the older ones amongst us enjoyed Peters and Lee before the game. Welcome home. Is it nice to be back at Sardis Road?
Oh, it's a brilliant place, and it's a great place to play rugby, and to have a full house tonight and 2 great teams going at it is top of the range, isn't it?
and the supporters have turned out in droves. Despite the fact that obviously it's two venues, you do get the feeling that everything is settling down, perhaps no more so than here at the Warriors.
Yeah, I think everybody's getting behind this now, and I think next year will be a great year for us. You know, it's moved on. Look at the crowd tonight; it's just brilliant. It's like the old days now. You remember that, and great atmosphere tonight.
And some good rugby on show as well. It was a half that turned out better than perhaps we thought it might have with that opening from Munster.
Yes, we've started to get going now, and fair play to the Munster. They come to have a game. Two great teams on show, great players, and it's going to be a really cracking game, isn't it?
It just seems perhaps the secret of the victory might come from the set piece. You're going after them in the scrums, you're picking off their line out. That's some achievement against the Munster pack.
Yeah, I think, as I said before, with Gethin, I think he's really doing a good job at the loose head. He's having a crack at his tight head, and Sid is getting up there amongst them in the lineouts.
Yeah, we know his fitness is good as well, so we'll see how he does second half. Back to you, Ed.
Stuart, Nigel, thank you very much. Munster was still down to 14 players when they struck back after the Warriors had drawn level.
Yeah, they scored a great try, and this is, I think we can have a look at this from behind. Pick up John Kelly, track him across there. He's interested in the defence, and then Cullen comes on, a straight run here, stops Johnny Bryant. And I think Sean James, when he looks at this, he really should have stepped in there with John Bryant. But, when you've got players coming from the blind side and running angles like Cullen does, it really does test the defence of the centres. And I think they were sort of...
Now then, more good work at the line out. Corey Harris, he's over the try line, he's twisting to put the ball down, and he loses it.
And how important could that be?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure Munster sat in that dressing room at the moment thinking, how are we behind in this game? Because they played all the rugby really. The Warriors have taken their the advantage, been down to 14 men. All credit to them. But Munster must be kicking themselves.
Okay, we're a sort of brand at the moment. We're scrum 5, but watch out for scrum 4.